Sup, Nerdmigos? I'm the Jive Talking Nerd, John Norgrove. We've got Wife here. We're here for another review, Jive. It's Shark Week, obviously, which is why you're getting shark-based things. So, last night we watched Five-Headed Shark Attack, which is the fourth movie in the Headed Shark Attack movie franchise.
Yeah, apparently it starts at 2 and works its way.
Obviously, it wouldn't start at One-Headed Shark Attack. That's just called a Shark Attack. That's not fun at all.
That's just a standard Shark Attack.
So we watched Five-Headed Shark Attack primarily because I didn't know that it was part of a series, and I was just like, this shark's got 5 heads. But it has 4 heads 90% of this fucking
for
movie.
most of the movie, we were watching this shark, which this shark is huge.
They don't. Okay, let's take it back a couple of notches. This movie is like if somebody took a sci-fi movie and then took more of its budget away. So it's just the worst. There are scene to scene, literally like camera here, camera back to this guy. Shit's been changing in the background.
Oh yeah,
like just
there's
fucking no respect for continuity.
With
the CGI is all over the place. Bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Regardless, this shark has 4 heads side by side at its front. You know, like
so
a
it's
hand.
just like
it's shaped like a hand,
but it has one tail. So the head part of the shark. And first of all, this is a large shark. Even if it had one head, this would be a large size.
It's like a Jaws size shark,
right? So with 4 heads, you're just like fanning it out, and it is. The heads are bigger than some of the boats.
You don't really get a good... So there's not consistency in scale, and you don't really get a good look at this shark for large swaths of the movie. I think it's because they're trying to, as best as they can, hide the shitty, cheap-ass CGI.
Yeah.
But it could honestly just be what the director wanted. I don't know. Man, listen... I don't know the names of any characters in this show. I don't know where the show takes place.
Puerto Rico. It takes place in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I guess. Man, like...
Yeah, it takes place in Puerto Rico. That's all I got.
There's a lot of...
Not really
the Puerto Rican flag is involved in a lot of shit, but every time you see it, so is the American flag. I don't think a single person says a single word in Spanish in this movie. Or Puerto Rican, or any other language that ain't fucking English. There's... No part of this movie makes any fucking sense. And of course, it's called Five-Headed Shark Attack. We've never fucking seen this show before. Yeah, right?
So we have been trying to figure out
so we're watching
why
this fucking shark with 4 heads.
4 heads go and just murder a bunch of people on boats.
Yeah, and it's very like in Jaws, how people are like, oh, it's just a shark. Sharks don't attack out here.
Yeah, and they're like,
small.
We don't want to shut down the beaches.
Don't worry about it. But you don't really see people on the beaches. They're like, we don't want to tourism. And then there's like one group of people in a boat somewhere and they get murdered.
Yeah, it's mostly the shark is eating people on a boat. Yeah. And honestly, like, there's really not much of a
the shark
plot.
Breaking a boat propeller. The exact same shark breaking a boat propeller underwater CGI scene. Yeah. For like 4 fucking boats. It's so insane.
They used it twice in a row.
Not how boat propellers work.
On one boat.
Some of them were outboard motors. Some of them were inboard motors. Listen.
It was all the same clip.
It's so bad. Yeah. It's at one point in time the guy they show out the police officer. Oh, you know what? Side of the police boat says Policia. That's the foreign language.
Say
that's
Policia.
But you barely see them because they're wearing bulletproof vests to fight a 4-headed shark in the water. Man, I don't know. Whatever. Anywho, so they at one point in time, like the Policia boat gets attacked by the shark and gets broken down, and so when the boat scene is shot, right, it's a man on a boat. Yeah. But in the close-ups of the man, you can see a pier behind him. Yeah. Just like 100%.
And on the faraway shots,
pier.
He's supposed to be on the ocean.
Yeah,
on the faraway shots,
I'll accept
he's like
a bay.
Standing up and walking around the boat, but in the close-up shots, he's hiding. Also, there's a boat that the police guy is on, and then there's a boat that like all these like college.
They are college students who work for
a Puerto Rico aquarium.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
they
like
work for an
shark
aquarium.
people.
I wouldn't say it's for an aquarium. Everything is vague,
it's
right?
Super
so
generic,
the fact that it has a Puerto Rican flag does not at all mean that we can solidly say that that's where any of this is. Half of it looks like it's shot on a fucking pool.
So there's a few shots where they're talking where the like shark people, aquarium people are talking to the dude on the
college
boat.
Kids.
The police
college
guy.
40-year-olds.
Yeah, these like 40-year-old college kids with bad skin. Talking to like the police guy in his boat, and they're the same boat. It's just different shots. When they're talking to the college kids, it's straight on.
Exterior
and when they're
shots,
talking to the police guy, it's to the side.
Yeah.
It's the same boat.
Yeah.
They couldn't even get two boats.
Sonar, but then come to find out that it's not sonar. It's a radio tag that they gave the shark, but they come to find out because the shark removed the radio tag.
Because it's also sentient,
and then gave it to another shark.
Yeah.
Right? But then they blow up that shark, the other shark, the not evil shark. And then they're able to just use regular sonar to track the shark. I mean, like, man.
And the whole idea of them trying to get rid of the shark is that
at every turn, one character says, we shouldn't get rid of him. Whether we shouldn't get rid of him research, we shouldn't get rid of him by name in a paper, or we shouldn't get rid of them, I don't know, nature or some bullshit.
Nature, basically.
Right.
Well, so they need to get rid of the shark, and they decide, and like the head college student person who also is kind of like a professor we don't really understand.
The girl one?
She is like, hey guys, I saw this video one time about how these dolphins like bullied this great white shark out of their area. Yeah. And we should do that. And one guy's like, we don't have a pot of dolphins. And she was like...
Which I was prepared for them to summon a pot of dolphins.
I was absolutely prepared.
Right, at this point in time, this is three-quarters of the way into the movie, anything's possible.
Bluetooth speakers programmed with the dolphin sounds from the video that they watched, and they put them into plastic dive bags and attached them to buoys.
Plastic dive bags seems like that's a little bit of higher quality.
That's what they said it was?
I'm pretty certain were like Safeway shopping bags tied up to like a metal trash can to sink that fuck to
They looked like those clear produce bags that you get.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they were just grocery store plastic bags that these were wrapped in. Also, these speakers produced an inordinately large amount of sound. All right.
For being a Bluetooth speaker.
And also,
underwater.
The lady said, look at how, like, because they're like, we need a natural predator. And she's like, and she did use her words, she showed us. But even though they're in a rush. And so she shows a video of this pot of dolphins screaming at the shark and then punching it with their nose. You know, they like fucking nose into sharks.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, the sound is the thing that the sharks aren't about. And I'm like, yeah, it's definitely not getting punched in the stomach, right? Listen, somebody screaming at you is annoying. Somebody screaming at you and then punches you in the stomach, you're out. You're no longer in that location.
Not be there.
Yeah. So they use the dolphin sounds to drive the shark into an area near. They hire like a grizzled man. Everybody is either shirtless or in bikinis, and everybody is supposed to be the hot one, and none of them are the hot ones.
They're all like solid fours.
It's real weird. Yeah. It's real fucking weird. But like the grizzled old guy is like, we're gonna get the shark, and so he tries to blow the shark up with some grenades that he has because that's a thing.
Which he's not even that old, actually.
Yeah. Also, the scenes where he's throwing the grenades, I'm telling you, dude, this was shot in a fucking pool. All right, it shows him throw it, and it's like the moment it gets here, the video speeds up for his personage, and then it's clearly like a CGI grenade going into wherever. Yeah. Right? And it looks like there's like, the way that they're using CGI in this movie is like exactly the wrong way to use CGI. Yeah. It's insanity. Right?
It's absurd.
It's so fucking weird. Like, this is such a low quality movie. Now, that being said, this is actually a pretty fun movie to watch.
Yeah, this is a terrible movie.
Zero logic.
But it was real fun to watch.
As an example, the fucking beginning of the movie, they're dissecting a shark. They're dissecting a shark-ish, right? And she's like, look at all this plastic I pulled out of this shark. We're ruining the environment with all this plastic,
in
blah,
the
blah,
ocean,
blah, blah.
She pulls out literally like a dollar store squirt gun from the stomach of this creature.
They're trying to make it have
attached to a kid?
They're trying to make it have feels, whatever.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Go into this movie, don't care about anything, right? Like, just be like, murder, nature, kill all animals. Because everybody in this movie is like, we shouldn't hurt the thing. And then 5 seconds later, they're like, what if we ripped its fucking teeth out and then beat it to death with its own teeth? And you're like, what are you talking about? There's no linearity to the characters. There's no logic. There's no character development. The
characters have no logic
They're just all over the fucking place. They're reading scripts, and I think maybe the scripts weren't labeled, and they put them down, and they just picked up different scripts halfway through the movie. None of real really talk. Some of the good guys become bad guys. Some of the bad guys become good guys. The cops are literally not even characters in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
It's insanity. And people get fucking murdered in this movie. And
wholesale.
50% of the reactions are like dramatic, like, what? No! And the other 50% are like, that guy got murdered. That's...
Also, like, the shark tends to follow boats for a while in the most absurd slow speed chase. So they're like, oh no, the shark's gonna get us! They're like rushing to try and turn on the boat.
It's a video of a boat,
and the boat is like this.
Clearly.
And the shark is like...
Yeah.
They're like chasing at like 25 miles an hour. It's wild.
The boats on the water scenes were shot separate from the people in the boat scenes, which were shot on some sort of a soundstage or in a pool or something.
Yeah.
Which were shot separate than the close-up scenes, because the close-up scenes are clearly docked boats.
Yeah.
Very clearly docked boats, and they're just kind of like overlaying enough shit for it to seem like they're out on the water.
Yeah.
It's fucking
and
nuts.
the logic of the people in the movie is also super flawed.
Yeah, they're
like
all
obviously there's like the dolphin thing, but they're like, oh my god, look at this shark, it's like super scary. You know, they're like, oh, like this happens over and over again. They're like, oh my god, scary shark gonna eat us.
Yeah.
They stand on, I don't know what it's called, the little platform on the outside of the boat. Like, you know, if you're gonna like sit and put your legs in the water, that's where you're sitting. They're standing basically as close to appetizer level for this shark as possible.
It's a boat for you to jump off of or to be able to like ski with or whatever. And they're like standing at the edge of the boat, just like.
And the water is like five inches from them.
Yeah.
In fact,
also we've seen the shark jump out of the like.
Yeah, the
fully
shark
out of the water.
Out of the water. There's one scene where the shark just eats a humpback whale in front of a bunch of tourists. Yep. And that was insane. Yeah. One character in
some of the tourists were not upset about that.
Yeah, some of the tourists did not
upset at all. They were just like, oh, there's a shark.
One girl, they were like, the shark's gonna try to eat you, and you know, we want you to like look as scared as possible, basically, to this actress. So it's clear that the shark is not, you know, they don't even have a person over there or whatever. And she's standing on this little like ledge, like right next to the water, as this four-headed shark is like coming towards her, and it comes up and she bends over and screams in its mouth in fear. She disappears behind the CGI at one point in time. Obviously the shark eats this girl, but this was wild. This was like something you would see. The shark
jumps out of the ocean
like
and eats
3 a.m.
and eats a helicopter out of this, because they bring a helicopter to rescue the people, and at no point in time does the helicopter shoot at the shark or do anything. The shark just knows that the helicopter's there to rescue them, so he decides to jump out of the water and grab the helicopter and pull it down.
Yeah.
And then they're like, maybe that killed the shark. And then it shows the shark like shake off the helicopter underneath the water. And then just move on. It's whatever. Whatever. They talk about in the beginning of the movie how plastic is evil, yet they're using fucking plastic bags to
in the ocean to try to get
fucking plastic speakers in the ocean. They're like, sometimes they're cool with chumming the water, sometimes they're not.
Oh yeah, there's like a lot of chum in that water.
Sometimes, but the chum never colors the water.
Yeah.
But the blood, when they murder something, that colors water for like a little while. But then it goes away.
Yeah.
This movie was a roller coaster of what not to do with regard to movies, and this is the fourth one.
Yeah. And we'll tell you, we did find we did see the fifth head. There are 5 heads. There was a fifth head.
We're not going to tell you what the fifth head is, or how it shows up, or where it is. You have to figure that the fuck out. So watch this movie. What did we watch this on? Hulu or something?
I think we watched this on Hulu.
Yeah, we probably watched it on Hulu.
This was an awful movie, but it was so bad that I feel that everyone should watch it.
A poorly made movie, but it was a fun movie in concept, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of like Sharknado. Sharknado has bad acting and bad CGI, and is, as a general rule, not a good fucking movie, right? But it's still real damn fun to watch.
And that's basically what this movie was. No NATOs. All giant
or any of the shark versus movies, like the Sharktopus movie or the Robot Shark movie. Listen, somebody in Hollywood gave somebody who doesn't know how to produce movies a bunch of money, and they said, make a bunch of movies.
Make
and
like
the guy was like,
killer shark movies.
The guy was like, all right, well, I'm going to make 500 movies. And he's like, this is enough money for one movie. And he's like, I'm going to make 500 movies. They're all going to be about sharks. And then they just fucking ran with it. This movie's insane. From fucking stem to stern. There's nothing I can say about it. I'm gonna give this a 2 out of fucking 5.
Honestly, I'd give this a 3 out of 5 because it was
the consistency
hilarious.
I mean, if you're gonna roto shit, if you're gonna CGI shit, like CGI the fucking wooden pier out behind the guy on the boat for those scenes. If you're gonna be cutting scenes from different filming together, don't show a guy walking around on a boat and then jump cut to a close-up where he's hiding behind a chair. Same guy, only person on this boat, hiding behind a chair. When a lady is jumping into the water for fucking no reason at all by the goddamn by. Right? She didn't fall in. The action should have been fall in. She clearly jumped in. You can see a hand like, is she gonna be okay? In frame, come into frame for this fucking scene.
Yeah,
and it can't be the only other person on the boat because he's on the fucking clear other side of the damn boat. There are
we actually rewound that part and watched it like 4
inconsistencies in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
That's why I have to give it a 2 because it was fun, but do a little bit more work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hire one more asshole.
Of like the kind of movie that you do Mystery Science Theater 3000 for.
Dude, this was exactly that.
Primarily why I'm giving it that extra star to
watch it. You're going to have fun. You're going to be weirded out. You're going to be confused. And frankly, you're going to lose a little faith
we know that there's a 6-headed shark movie too. Yeah. So we know that there is another movie in this franchise, and we spent a pretty good portion of this movie talking about how absurd the next movie would be. Yeah. So we're probably going to find that and try to watch that.
We saw the shark get blown up at the end of this movie.
Yes.
That's not a spoiler. I don't care.
Yeah.
We saw the shark get blown up. I don't know how they're going to do a sequel, but I get the feeling that they blow up the shark in every movie, and it doesn't really fucking matter.
I mean, that happened in Jaws.
Yeah,
so,
and there's a bunch of those.
Yeah.
So either way,
this was fantastic.
This was great.
Watch it.
Go watch this video. I've been John Norgrove. This has been Wife. Like this video, comment below, share, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell, do all that kind of crap. This has been Review Jive. We watched 5-Headed Shark Attack.
Oh no, that wasn't even Terrible Movie Tuesday. That was
this is just Shark
Sunday.
Week. We watched it for Shark Week. She's confused. Don't worry. It's drugs. This is a 2017 horror. It's a fucking horror sci-fi, which is not either of those things. We will catch you guys next time.